So you're debating about Leslie, Rory, and who plays on Sam Reid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And can that third tour then play on Rowan,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be? Or do they bring a ruckman in? Another ruckman in. So that's obviously the machinations. Sinclair played well last week.
Yeah.
So it gives them that option.
Are they the best team in the comp at the moment? Like in this last 4 weeks?
Oh, probably the last 6 weeks they're probably the informed team. They're getting back to the way they normally play. And I think even John Longmire, it was asked a question why they were like they were early in the year, and they didn't lose by a lot, but they had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
And GWS is the only team that I've seen cope with a lot of injuries. Sydney were playing okay early in the year, but they were quite an inexperienced side. They had some really good players out, and Parker was coming back from his operation. Now they're back to full strength, and they're playing exceptionally well. It's a great test for us. I think it's a great opportunity. I think it's a really good opportunity. Some players are really growing. You know, I suppose Jesse Lonigan, Lyons, these type of blokes, be able to play against a quality midfield. It gives them great opportunity to see where they're at.
Do you approach the game any differently, or just like every other game?
Oh, probably 90% of what you do every week's the same. Is the same. You know, we do the opposition, but I think, as I just said, where they are as a team, and people were saying at the start of the year, you know, they're probably a benchmark, and they had the slow start. But you ramp it up a little bit, and it's a good test for us. We're a young team, and probably 4 of the last 6 we've been pretty pleased with. So we're heading in the right direction, we feel. But by the same token, we need to be able to deliver that on the weekend.
Okay, does Trent coming back in give you another dimension in terms of coming out of halfback? Obviously, we've seen Harbour and started success. Does it give you another? Yeah,
he's such a good kicker, and I think you need to kick it well, especially on a small ground. And with Pearce not playing, he'll that's another player out who can use the ball well. So Trent coming back gives us that advantage.
Does the size of the ground? I don't mean to be cynical, but the big problem with Mackenzie has been his capacity to cover the ground. And is it a coincidence that you're brought him into that smallest ground in the comp?
It is a coincidence, but it does help. People probably thought, after a couple of games he'll be straight back in, but he's had to work hard for his spot. His last 2 weeks have been very good. Although the Neefle team won very easy last week, he played on an AFL player in Ben Warren. And we told him that he needed to play the way we needed him to play. So it's not measured on stats. So his last 2 weeks have been very good. So he's earned his recall. Playing at the SCG would help that as well, while he gets some match fitness. But he's played 5 games in Neefle. He's trained well, so he certainly knows what he needs. He knows what he needs to do.
How's Callum and Matera? And if Callum does play, does Matera get it with the way Ben played and the way the other boys played in the forward line? Can you fit Matera back in?
He still hasn't trained yet, so he may be available next week, but I would think, losing a bit of fitness, that he'll probably have to come back through the Neefle. And then he's got a few credits in the bank as well, because if his form has been very good, except for his last game. You could fit them all in, yeah, but certainly at the moment, I suppose Lemons is maybe a medium, but you've got Archie, Ainsworth, Martin, Lemons, who are all quick and can put can put pressure on, which at the moment we're liking. So, but Brandon's got form, but he'll have to get his fitness back up and match fitness up, and then we can have a look at that then.
How's Hall recovering?
Hall? Yeah, very fast. His recovery's been exceptional, to be honest. So I'd imagine he'll train next week with a view that he might be available next week.
Do you think the pace that you brought into your side in the last couple of weeks certainly your forward line looks really electric. Sydney aren't the quickest side around through the midfield and across halfback as well. While they've got Mills, yeah. They've improved in that area, but do you think you have a pace advantage over them? Yeah,
you do, but it's still going to be the contest.
Yeah.
No good having a pace advantage if you don't get the ball.
Yeah.
And that's part of last week. North Melbourne have been very good at stoppages, and we won that battle last week. So How younger players are getting some confidence in that, but we know it's just going to be a game of attrition and a game of concentration, that if we drop off our concentration, that we may get beaten for run on the outside as well, because they've got players, Jack and Hanbury, are really long, hard runners. So we're not banking on a pace advantage. We've got to match their intensity in tight. And we've done a fair bit of work on that this week. So if we can get that, well, the other stuff will look after itself. We're more pleased with the pace we've got in the forward line and can put pressure on. So it's more about that angle.
Is Richo close and we tempted for this week?
We brought his name up, but the plans always be with him and the high performance, and he said himself he needs another game. And that'll be a great test for him as well, because the games he's played hasn't been a great contested game. The seconds have won pretty easily. So playing against the Swans reserves, who are on top, they've got a full list. So that'll be a good test for him to be able to get that contested part into his body. And hopefully again, like Hall, he may be available next week for selection.